Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. About 3 months ago I had a collision in my van with a moped rider, a little scooter rider. Completely his fault. I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but basically today I am taking my van down to be repaired. It happened on the 9th of December. Seems like ages ago. A few bits of damage, I'll show you briefly. Hit the bonnet there. Broke the mirror, that no longer works internally, and he put a scratch all down the side. But basically his fault, he ran out of talent. Luckily I swerved and avoided him, but he did do some damage. But yeah, today I'm finally going to get my van repaired. So the plan is I'm going to cycle to the garage, which is about 25 miles away, and then I've got a 36-mile bike loop back once I drop the van off. So fitting in the training around all the other boring stuff. So let's get on the way anyway. So yeah, it was about 3 months ago. It was during the World Cup actually, 9th of December, half time. I was nipping down to the shop to get some snacks for the second half, and coming towards me on a small little country road was a van coming towards me, and tucked up behind the van was a moped. The moped hadn't seen me because he was so close to the vehicle in front of him. He pulled out from behind the van, tried to overtake it, then saw my big brown van looming towards him, and he basically panicked, locked up his brakes, fell off his moped in my lane, and I slammed on my brakes, swerved, almost avoided him, but as he fell off, we sort of both stopped our vehicles at the same time. As he fell off with his brakes locked, he head-butted my bonnet with his helmet, and his moped scratched down the side of the van. So he was incredibly lucky, and I did tell his mum that when she came to pick him up. He didn't look at what he was doing, he didn't check the road ahead, he just pulled out, and luckily I was alert enough to avoid him. It's taken 3 months, it's finally getting repaired, and the garage that his insurance company are repairing it at is about 25 miles away. So I thought I would combine today's training session, which is a 2-hour bike ride, with dropping the van off. I've got my bike in the back. It is, what is it, 14 degrees. Wow, it's the warmest it's been this year. It's a lovely day for it. It's a little bit windy, but it should mostly be a tailwind. I've got 4 blocks of 15 minutes of about 180 watts, I think, so nothing too ridiculous. Should be a fairly comfortable session, which I'm going to do on the way home with a warm-up and a cool-down. Should be about 2 hours, 36 miles, so looking forward to it. So a quick catch-up, talking about the weather being 14 degrees and nice and warm. I'm about 2 weeks since I was in since we were in Miami and Bahamas for a week's break, which was amazing. Myself and Greg and our partners went to Bahamas for a few days. Stayed on Paradise Island, where James Bond Casino Royale was filmed, some of it. I stayed in the James Bond Hotel, which was amazing. And then we went there for a few days to try and get used to 30 degrees heat before we took part in the Miami half marathon on, what was it, the 5th of March? Yeah, so just over 2 weeks ago. It was a fabulous race. I really enjoyed it. I was pacing Greg to a sub 2, which we did 1:54. It started at 6:15 in the morning. It was so humid, coming from sort of 0 or 2 degrees or minus 2 degrees in the UK over to Miami, where it was 32 degrees, humid as anything. The race actually started at 6:15 in the morning because it was so hot. They were having unseasonably hot weather for that time of year. So yeah, we had an amazing week. Swimming, we still managed to fit in a lot of training, although we were on holiday. I'm still Ironman training. I've still got races coming up. Greg is the same. We've both got London Marathon in about a month's time, so we did manage to train every day. We were either sea swimming or doing a few running sessions, or we hired a couple of bikes for a couple of days and did some bike rides. Biking around Nassau was unbelievably scary, so we just stuck to the ocean hotel golf course, which worked fine. So yeah, we managed to fit in a few training sessions, did Miami half marathon on 5th of March, and then home again to 0 degrees and cold. But finally today it's starting to warm up again, 14 degrees. Spring has sprung, I think, first day of spring yesterday, and I'm ready to get stuck into some training. Races are getting ever closer. I've got London Landmarks half, which I'm pacing in 2 weeks time, pacing a 150 there, which should be good fun. I've not paced a big race like that before. I've obviously done things like the Hackney half and the Watford half and the Worthing half, which are a few thousand runners, but obviously the London Landmarks half is about 12,000 runners, so really looking forward to pacing that. And then 2 weeks after that I've got Boston Marathon, which seems ridiculous, it's only a month away. So 1 month's time, Boston Marathon. In between London Landmarks and Boston I've got 5 days up in Allerdale, doing some route recceing and some bike ride and some running training while I'm there, just getting a hang of when we take groups up there as part of our business, where we can take them, what sort of walks and hikes and runs and things we can do. So I've got a nice 5 days up there, and then yes, month's time Boston Marathon, and then immediately after that I've got London Marathon. So 6 days after Boston Marathon I've got London Marathon. So it's all a bit of a whirlwind at the moment. I've never done 2 marathons within 6 days of each other before. I've never done 2 marathons within 6 months of each other before, I don't think. So 6 days is going to be interesting. I'm planning to maximise my recovery, obviously, a couple of short runs, lots of ice baths, lots of saunas and steams, and recovery sessions. So between Boston and London, 6 days. Boston is obviously my target race. I'm going to be going for, I think probably it's got to be 3:20. It's an unusual one because the last time I did a marathon off Ironman Training, it didn't go particularly well. Edinburgh, horrible, 18 miles of tailwind and 8 miles of headwind, was pretty disgusting. But this time I'm aware I'm training a hell of a lot better for it. Training is going really well at the moment. My swimming, my cycling and my running is all coming on fantastically well. I did Hampton Court half, what did I get, 132? Can't remember. But I know I'm only like 10 seconds a mile away from a half marathon PB. So fitness wise, really good. Swimming is in a fantastic place at the moment. My swim is probably about as quick as it's ever been. And cycling is coming on as well. I guess cycling is going to take a little bit longer, but I'm certainly enjoying some good fitness in all aspects, ready for the tri-season when that starts. So let's get on the way, let's get this van dropped off for repair, get my bike out the back. There's a few sort of spots of rain now, which is frustrating. I'm desperate to get the summer bike out. Few spots of rain, hopefully it won't last. It's quite windy, so it might blow over. But anyway, let's get the van dropped off, get the bike out and get cracking on this 2-hour aerobic session I've got to do on the bike. Okay, so I'm about halfway through the ride. I've done my 20-minute warm-up. I've done 2 15-minute blocks of about 180 watts. I think I've got my Garmin on the wrong settings. I've got it on 3-second power rather than 3-second average, so it's a little bit confusing, jumping about all over the place, but not too bad. Relatively accurate. Heart rate's quite stable. Heart rate's really come down with my cycling a lot recently, which is obviously a good sign of my fitness improving. But yeah, halfway through, about 18 miles in. I've just taken my gloves off because it's too warm. I've got my winter gloves on and it's probably 15 degrees now. Could do without the thermal skull cap, but that can stay for now. For now, I will just carry on enjoying this lovely ride home. It's nice where I don't know where I am. I don't know any of the villages I've gone through. Not got a clue, just planned a route, 2-hour route home from the garage. With loads of random villages I've kind of heard of occasionally, but no idea really where they are. I'm just following my map, looking at the sights as I go. And Okay, I'm about half a mile from home. Should round up to 40 miles done. 2 hours 15 minutes. Training complete. I'll probably end this video and I'll catch you all on the next one. Hopefully it won't be too long. Take care. I'll see you soon. Cheers.